Curry straight away, and then on top of this with the dog sauce, the knives,
Oh yeah, no problem.
And then yesterday was very impressive with the comms.
Hi, I'm Michael Angelos and welcome back to At the Stables. Today's the second in a series of interviews where you get to meet some of your fellow owners. And today's episode has a little bit of a culinary twist. You're about to meet celebrity chef, racing enthusiast, and just an all-round good bloke. And if you haven't been to his restaurant in Amaroo, do yourselves a favour. Let's go and meet Clinton McIver. Welcome Clinton McIver here at the Randwick Stables to At the Stables.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure, mate. And we've just had a beautiful morning here.
We have, yep. Absolutely.
We had an open day here, ladies and gentlemen, this morning. By the time you see this, it'll be some months ago. But what do you think?
Really good. Good turnout. It's good to see a few of the horses, few of the up and coming stable stars parade around, and I guess always good to have the owners and people involved, and just in a I guess outside of a race day sort of pressure scenario as well. It's a good get together. So.
Well, let me just tell you that Clinton just prepared the most delicious, sumptuous, is that a word? Sumptuous?
Yeah.
Food, delicacies. We'll get to those in a moment, but how'd you get involved with racing in the first place, Clinton?
Well, it's been 2018 I actually bought my first share on a horse, and I've had a bit of a history of racing growing up. My father was a sort of country bush jockey growing up, so not foreign to the horse racing and stable environment. But for a long time, I've been focused on obviously my career in cooking and hospitality, and I wanted to do something to sort of just get involved with family and friends outside of work, and I took 10% of a horse, which turned out to be quite a nice horse, and then ever since then it's become a fanatical obsession.
It's always that first one that gets in, isn't it?
Yeah,
Huh?
exactly.
Funny about that, isn't it? I don't know why it works that way, but I know you love the ownership, and we spent a day at the races yesterday.
Yes,
we had a
we
good
did.
day
Yep.
out there as well. Had a few bets, but you've got a passion for breeding as well.
I do. So I, like probably a lot of other people, sort of thought it was just about, you buy a horse and then it races, and that's kind of it. I didn't really realize the in-depths and the intricacies of the breeding and pedigrees, which I find very interesting and kind of encompasses a lot of my time now. So I like that side of it a lot. So I've got a couple of mares on the books now.
Great.
And I enjoy the sort of the theoretical aspect, a lot of the nicking and the crosses, and then also, I think it gives you a bit of a creative outlet as well to sort of, play around with your own ideologies and sort of strategies and theories that you have from a physical aspect of the horse, of mating the mare and the stallion, plus then going on, obviously, a lot of the data and information that is there and accessible. So I think it's a fairly deep rabbit hole, but it's one I really enjoy.
Well, I know our trainer here shares that same passion of those intricacies, as you mentioned.
Yes.
How'd you get involved with John?
Well, first and foremost, you know that I'm a fan of At the Stables, and so I thought, to sort of try and wedge my way into an episode, I thought I'd probably have to have a couple.
You cheeky bugger.
Have a couple on the books here. No, so the first horse I bred is a filly by a Stern, so she's out of a Piero mare, and obviously knowing that John had a lot to do with the Stern, it's sort of, and I wanted to learn a little bit about, obviously, being the first foal, that family, so I thought, I'd give her every opportunity by coming to a sort of good trainer who had a history at the stallion, and then obviously, been following the stable and following John, obviously, fantastic trainer, and also wanted to expand outside of just Victorian Melbourne racing as well. So had a couple in the stable now. So and it's been really good. I do prefer the smaller sort of boutique stables, and I think when you are in the racing game, whether you're a 2.5% owner or a 100% owner, you've got to be enjoying it as well. So I think the communication and transparency is amazing, and I think that's sometimes in the bigger stables that can be a bit of an oversight, which is, I mean, no knock on anyone. Every business model is a bit different, but I enjoy being able to sort of speak to the either John or Tom or yourself, yeah, you got to enjoy it. So it's got to be a bit of a social aspect as well, and yeah, everyone's got to be happy. So yeah.
Well, it's great that you are involved because not only is he a good bloke, but we get the inside running to some culinary experiences that I'm about to share with you now because, well, we'll start, before we get to Amaroo, which is your current restaurant now, you spent some time at Voudemont, one of Melbourne's classics.
Yep. So I grew up in Queensland, and I moved to Melbourne in 2009. So I moved south, obviously for work and career opportunities. As a bigger city, there's a lot better restaurants, more to sort of learn and do and get involved with. So I spent 4 years there, worked my way up to a senior position, and then the end goal for me was always to run my own business. And then that sort of gave me the opportunity and propelled me into sort of that stage of my life where I was still sort of, just before 30 to be able to open up my own restaurant, and it's been a few years now. So like anything, starting from scratch, there's a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication that goes into that, and that's obviously my number one passion and career. But it's also nice to have something outside of that where the sort of the racing and the breeding sort of outlet comes into it as well. So it's just sometimes it's a very fine line between getting too involved with the other.
Well, they're a different kind of pressure, aren't they?
They are.
We'll get to that in a moment. But I just want to touch on the fact that I've had the pleasure of dining at Amaroo, and
you have,
it's an I'll tell you, it's an amazing experience. Not just the food and the deliciousness of the food, but it's the whole presentation. It's like theatre.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, you go into great detail.
It's a full experience, and I think when you go to a restaurant, it's not just about, there's plenty of restaurants you can go to just to have a very nice meal or have some food, but when you come to a restaurant like Amaroo, it is that full experience. It's somewhere that you can come and celebrate with family, friends, a loved one, and it's, once you sort of walk in those doors, it's you're in a different world, and that's the memory and experience that we want people to have and be able to create for people, and then people come back for that. They have anniversaries, celebrations, and just frequent visits. So it's a lot like, I guess, running a successful stable and a business. You want to sort of keep your owners and your punters and clientele engaged and keep them coming back. You've got to look after them.
Absolutely. Now, let's talk about those two pressure scenarios. On one hand, you've got the pressure of the prep, the big night at Amaroo.
Absolutely.
Or you've got the prep of a runner, a big chance in a big race. Where are we going there?
For a long time, and still to this day, when we have an event or, very busy dinner service or large events or whatever, there's always pressures at work. But I guess I'm a bit more seasoned now, so I can control the nerves fairly well. However, the other one, racing, I must admit, it still gets me, and it doesn't really matter if you're running at Goulburn or Rose Hill. Generally, if I've got a runner, I'm engaged for a good week out. I'm doing the form on all the other runners. I'm watching trials. I'm analysing sectionals, and I have trouble sleeping still. So
I feel you. I feel you, brother. That's a great feeling.
And I think we've touched on very briefly. I've got a rule now where I've got a 45-minute rule. Yeah, so if I've got a runner, I won't travel more than 45 minutes to where it's running because it can be quite a long drive home if you're a little bit sore and sorry. So 45 minutes is kind of that's my cap now. So if it's any further than that, I'll stay at home and watch on the screen.
Is that like a superstition? Are you superstitious?
I guess it is a little bit. Actually, one superstition I do have: if I've had a horse that's won and I haven't been in attendance, I won't go to the next start.
Yeah, I get that one. Well, here's the last question I'll throw at you. Based on the superstitious type question, is it bad luck to say good luck?
No, I don't have a problem with it. I don't, not really. I don't think so. I think it's bad luck. It's bad luck if you're on the punt and you've got one leg to go and you share that one leg. So I don't do that one anymore. No. So I keep that quiet until we've got all the ducks in a row. But no, apart from that, not too many superstitions. I do have a few numbers things that I like, and sort of sequences of numbers and runners and stuff. But no, outside of that, not really.
Well, we've been very lucky to be sport this morning by Clinton McIver, and it's fantastic to have you on the show with us, mate.
Thanks for having me. Nice
Welcome
be
to At the
here.
Stables.
Thank you.
Thanks, mate.
Good on you. Thanks
you.
very much.
All right.
Nice hat, Michael. What?